Eva is the CEO of Ratan Brothers, a bicycle manufacturing company. The organization is doing well financially with a steadily increasing share price. Recently, Eva promoted Bhushan, her nephew, to the position of head of procurement after he completed 5 years in the organization. An important point, there's always a nephew angle, so therefore some nepotism that could rear its head. He's completed 5 years in the organization, so it's not an overnight promotion. After the promotion, he was automatically inducted into the quality council headed by Eva. Automatically inducted, so not like she pushed for it, was automatically inducted. Dev & Sons is a supplier to Ratan Brothers. It supplies ball bearings, an important part of any bicycle. After Bhushan took over, he switched to a new supplier, citing quality deficiencies in Dev & Sons product. Dev & Sons responded by publicly declaring that quality was not compromised. So it's a classic conflict between a supplier and the procurement head. The things that I like, it's a crucial product. As far as the company is concerned, critical phrases, nephew, 5 years, and publicly declaring. So I'm already a little worried about what Dave is doing and how they're doing this. If they really wanted to be constructive about this process, they would have taken a meeting with Eva, told her that, look, our quality is not compromised. I would like to check this out one more time and maybe talk to Bhushan. Maybe something went wrong in the process. Maybe some other manufacturer was involved. So please check that. Further, it alleged that its competitor bribed Bhushan to get the contract. This is a very serious allegation, so they should have backed it up. Probably it could even be true. But if this is true, then I would have, if I were Eva, I would have picked up the phone and called Dev & Sons and say, guys, this is serious stuff. You're alleging something, give me the evidence, but you have no business talking publicly about this. Let's sort this out. We've been suppliers, we know each other. So you think there's something wrong, bring it to my notice. Bring me some kind of proof or some starting point so that I can run an investigation. Tell me this is the issue, we'll figure this out. But no point going and saying, look, this whole company is hinting that the company is corrupt by publicly declaring something. So the only part that I don't like in this whole passage is this. You have an issue, you bring it to my notice. Let's look at this. Post this public allegation, the share price of Ratan Brothers started falling. So this is what I was worried about as Eva. So I'm already, I'm straight away peeved with what Dev & Sons have done. Which of the following is the best option for Eva to immediately stem the falling stock prices? Fire Bhushan, blacklist Dev & Sons, and inform the press. So you fire Bhushan, you blacklist them. You fire Bhushan because you think there's some bribery involved. You blacklist them because they have complained, and then inform the press. And so it seems like I hear of this, and then I take a big hammer and then start hitting people out of it. And I don't like this option because I'm jumping to the decision-making phase. And Dev & Sons have alleged that Bhushan has taken a bribe. It may or may not be true. If it is true, then it's a very serious allegation against Bhushan. And we find it out and then we fire Bhushan, in which case there's no reason to blacklist Dev & Sons. And I can reprimand them for publicly sharing the information or talk to them separately. But I can't do all of this in one day. Right? Issue a press statement that a committee has been formed to look into the matter. And this is important. I like this choice. And so basically, one of the suppliers is saying something is wrong. So we're looking into it. So don't worry. We will sort this out. One thing that I don't like about this is, one, is this a serious allegation that some bribery took place. Right? 2, it is public. And 3, my share price is falling. And so allegation is serious because some bribery is involved, not some fall in quality standards which is not related to a crime. And this is public, so it's out there. And the share price is already reacting to it. So this is a good thing, but not strong enough. It's like saying that your platelet count is falling and you decide to have more pomegranate. It's good, but that's not what you're screaming out for right now. You need something to fix the problem, stem the flow, arrest this. It's like something more aggressive than this. And so if there's nothing more aggressive than this, I'm going with this choice. Issue a press statement that the company's quality standards have increased, and then anyone is welcome to scrutinize the relevant documents. So this is good. I like this as well. This is way more aggressive. Yes, Dev and Sons are saying that they've publicly declared that our quality standards, there's a question mark around it and there's some corruption. I don't agree with it. Our quality standards are really good and they've improved. And I tell you what, you don't have to listen to me. Anyone can come and look at our documentation and then figure it out for themselves. So it's a sign of wonderful confidence from the CEO saying, look, there's some allegation flying around. I'll tell you what, this has not affected us one bit. Our quality is actually improving, and not me saying it. The paperwork is saying it, the detailing is saying it. You can come and have a look. Cancel the remaining order and call for a fresh tender. It's very similar to this choice. When you jump the gun, don't take a nuanced view of things. Cancel the order, call a fresh tender, and hope that the whole thing will blow away. So we don't know who's done the mistake. We don't know whether there's been some bribery involved. We don't know whether Dev and Sons are just raking mud because they've been denied an order. Do nothing, as Bhushan, as the head of procurement, has a right to decide on the supplier. Bhushan has a right to decide on a supplier, no doubt about it. But the moment there has been an escalation and a share price fall, it is no longer Bhushan's problem. It is Eva's problem. So the do nothing option is out. You're the CEO. There's been some squabble and the share price is falling. You can't say, oh, such is life, I'm not going to do anything about it. You've got to step in and take action. That's what you get paid for. So the passive option is out. So between B and C, because the terms and the terminology and the seriousness involved, the issue is screaming out for slightly more aggressive action than saying, oh, committee has been formed, we'll look into everything. Under pressure from media and suppliers, Eva constituted a cross-functional committee of senior executives to investigate Dev and Sons' allegation against Bhushan. Reasonable point. So a bunch of senior people across different divisions, they look into this. The committee exonerated Bhushan. They basically said, look, he doesn't seem to have done anything wrong. However, rumors within the organization began to spread that the decision was influenced by nepotism. This is a problem of having your nephew in a high post. Which of the following should be the best response from Eva? And so she's put together a committee. The key point here, it's a cross-functional committee of senior executives. So it's not done in haste. She's not basically said, oh, Bhushan, he won't do anything, he's a nice guy. She said, look, there's an allegation. We're not firing someone just based on an allegation. We'll have a good team to look into it. Let them check out everything. And then we'll listen to what they are saying. And the committee exonerates Bhushan. Rumors will be there, but you need to address them. Let's see what are the options available. Do nothing, as a committee has exonerated Bhushan. We'll have to think about it, but the rumors they've begun to spread. If you stay ahead of the rumors and communicate clearly, then they'll not spread. And so I would eliminate this mainly because it's a very passive option. I'm not a fan of passive options. Maybe in life, yes, but not in an exam. Just kidding. And so don't take it too seriously. Force Bhushan to resign temporarily. Resigning temporarily is already I don't like this. If you're serious, make him resign. If you're not serious, go out on a limb and defend him. Don't chicken out and say, okay, for right now you step down. You can say, look, reassign him to avoid controversy. Even that is okay. But resign temporarily. Make an independent inquiry. For the record, the previous thing of cross-functional senior executives is independent. If found innocent, reinstate Bhushan. This whole thing has happened. You've done that. So why should you do it again? And when will you stop? Then there's some more rumor that the independent inquiry is wrong, then you'll keep doing this whole thing. Communicate to all shareholders that these kind of practices are very common in organizations. In a private meeting, I may tell the odd guy that sab ho raha hai, but we'll handle it. But I'm not communicating, sending an email to everyone saying, look, get on with it. This is life. These things happen. I'm not doing that. Very passive option. Sack all those employees who question that authority. You're a CEO, not an autocrat, not a monarch. You can't just say, look, sack everybody. Explain in a town hall meeting open to all the employees how the decision to exonerate Bhushan was taken. I like this. I think the town hall meeting is probably over elaborate. But this scenario calls out for not doing the process again, but calls out for explaining that. Basically saying, look, a bunch of guys who are credible, senior, a group across different committees, they looked into it. And then they finally said there's nothing wrong. We can't go around listening to Tom, Dick and Harry hurling accusations against our guys. So if it happens, then we say, okay, there's an accusation, we'll look into it. We'll look at it the most independent and senior group of cross-functional guys in a team possible. And then we'll listen to what they've got to say. They're saying there's nothing, no wrongdoing here. If we don't listen to them, then what will we listen to? This is clear. It's been done independently by senior people. And so this is clear. Explaining the decision works. I don't know whether it really calls for a town hall meeting, but the other choices are far less exciting. Choice E it is. A few months after the issue of Dev & Sons, a vigilance committee discovered some financial irregularities attributable to Bhushan in his earlier stint as a senior manager in marketing. The board of directors was concerned about this and demanded a response from the CEO. Eva contemplated the following responses. Super, this is wonderful. One, he has been an accusation and been exonerated. And then it says discovered, this group after that, the vigilance committee, so they're looking into all kinds of allegations. They discovered some financial irregularities attributable to this. So remember, discovered, there is a certain lack of ambiguity about it. When they're basically saying there's something funny happening here. They're not saying that there is something for which he has to explain away. So there's something that he needs to come back and explain to us, or it's not a matter that deserves looking into. It has already been looked into. If it's not a mere escalation, it's an escalation after which the investigation has been done and then there are some irregularities. And the board of directors was concerned about this and demanded a response from the CEO, basically saying, look, this has happened. We need to hear from you, and today. It's not a friendly call saying, hey, I heard this from some random employee. Do I need to take it seriously? There's something that they've taken seriously. They've investigated. They found something funny. And then they've called the CEO and said, look, we need a response, preferably today. It's a serious claim. And the seriousness is conveyed by these words. Vigilance committee discovered, so there's some finality to it, demanded a response. Right? Offered to resign from the post of CEO, since as a CEO, she's ultimately responsible for everything in the organization. So this is called for only because Bhushan is her nephew. And otherwise I would have said, look, there's an issue with one guy, it's not necessary that you should resign. We'll look into it. But because his nephew, anything Bhushan screws up on is a reflection on her. Because at some level, she's part of the organization, he's been promoted, and he's done something. Right? Sack Bhushan immediately and make the reason public. Again, I'll look into this. At some point of time, you don't try to salvage something. This is clear, they've discovered something wrong. So you should probably do that. And you should do that early enough. You might want to do this as well. You might not resign, but you can offer to resign. You can say, look, it's my nephew. He's done something wrong. There could be a suggestion of impropriety. I would want to avoid that. So I would be glad to step down and resign. Have a town hall meeting with all the employees and deny any financial irregularities in the organization. And so why would you do that? It's a vigilance committee. They have discovered something. Why will you deny that? You're not even doing it. Forget the order in which you're doing it. So somebody says something is wrong, and then you call a meeting and say nothing is wrong. That's not the way to go about it. It's a vigilance committee. They probably know what they're doing. They've discovered some irregularities. So you're not doing this. I like 1 and 2. 2 more than 1. But 3, we're not even doing that. Communicate to the board that as a CEO, the organization's financial health is our top priority, on which she has delivered stellar performance in the past 5 years. This is all right, but this is about the irregularities. It is about she being demanded a response. If something is wrong and I want to haul you up, you don't come here and say, oh, look, the company is doing really well. If there are a quality concern or a marketing concern or a pricing concern, then you say, look, the health is very good. The company, look at the balance sheet, look at the P&L, you're doing really well. But if it's an ethical concern and a concern about legalities and the financial irregularities, then performance takes a little bit of a backseat. I might do this to convey to them that, look, actually the company is running really well. So don't upset the apple cart. This is a one-off. We'll fire the guy and get on with life. We might do that, but that's not early on. I'm not going in and saying, look, how well are we doing? How does it matter if somebody stole something? Right? Inform the board that Bhushan was promoted because his initiatives helped the company immensely. It's probably important. They've demanded a response. She can say, hey, we did promote him for a reason. He did something wrong, so we did take action. If you think this is not enough, you can even fire me. Or I would be happy to resign. And so, in that scheme of things, justifying why Bhushan was kind of promoted in the first place is also useful, saying, look, he is a good guy, but then he did something wrong. He merited this promotion, after which he lost his way. So probably include that. And so, the one thing I'm definitely not including anywhere is point 3. I don't want that. So now I'm going to look at the choices. I'm going to kick this out and kick this out. And 5.2.1. Inform the board that the Bhushan was promoted because his initiatives helped the company. Sack Bhushan immediately and make the reason public. Offer to resign. So I like this. Sack him, offer to resign. I would have probably sacked him, offered to resign, and then tell the board that, or sack him. So I would have even liked 2.5.1. Sack him, make the reason public, then inform the board that because his initiatives helped the company immensely, then offer to resign. I would have liked 2.5.1, that little bit better than 5.2.1, but 2.5.2.1 is also alright. 2.1.4, sack Bhushan immediately and make the reason public. I like that. This also has choice 3, we can eliminate that. We probably start with that, sack Bhushan immediately. Offer to resign, post a CEO, since as CEO she is ultimately responsible. Fine. Communicate to the board that as a CEO, the organization's financial health is lost its way. So probably on which she has delivered stellar performance in the past 5 years. Sack Bhushan and then offer to resign. Then remind them that the performance has been good. This is also tempting. Find a way between 5.2.1 and 2.1.4. Do you remind the company that the board that the financial health is our top priority or not? That's what it boils down to. Right? So she's been called over for a response. There's a vigilance committee that has pushed. So between 5.2.1 and 2.1.4, I'm really torn. Right? I would probably go for 5.2.1 because I don't think this meeting is a performance review meeting. It's not a meeting where I say, hey, how well I have gone about this business as a CEO. This is a meeting where the call to action is very specific, where the cause is very specific. Look, Bhushan, they're saying some irregularities, we gotta do something about it. Give us something really quickly. So it's about this issue. So I probably don't want to communicate about the big performance, but I'm really torn. Between 5.2.1 and 2.1.4, it is very close. I would go for 5.2.1. If you've gone for 2.1.4, then it's very close. Not much I can tell you.